Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. This video is sponsored by contribution from Teresa. Teresa gave a general contribution, which I'll use for this video. But before we even start it, let's count how many estranged parent, estranged mother red flags we can see in this. Ridiculous glasses, check. TJ Maxx, Ross for Less, family inspirational sign on the wall, check. Let's see. Oh, eating and drinking on camera, that's another one I've noticed, so check that. Ridiculous hair, with the braids, with the flower child hair, just basically what we're looking at here is another boomer reliving their 50s, reliving the 60s. So let's see what this one has to say. This one's a little longer. This one's almost 10 minutes long. So let's go.
I have very recently stumbled across the side of TikTok where they address adult
Vocal fry, check.
child parental estrangement. Meaning an adult child estranges themselves from either both parents, one parent, whatever, and goes no contact. The parent no longer gets to have a relationship with them, and the parent doesn't get to have a relationship with grandchildren. And I am going to tag 4 or 5 of the creators that I have followed on here, and they're all women.
Check.
Because thank you, ladies. Thank you for shining light on this epidemic that I did not know was an epidemic. And thank you for being so courageous to put your story.
Courageous. See, like we call each other courageous or call each other brave. That's just, brainwashing. They call each other, the same thing. That's empowerment. Rules for thee, not for me. Every single time.
Your truth out here for all of us to see.
Your truth. How about just the truth? See, there it is. Your truth. No. There's only one truth. There's not your truth and my truth. There's only the truth. There's no such thing as your truth. There's only the truth.
See, to help understand what's going on with this epidemic. Because as much support as y'all get, which I see a lot, I also see a lot of hate and a lot of trolls that know nothing about y'all's situation that they want to.
We don't have to. I know what you're going to say before you say it. Just by looking at you, you all do the same thing. You all present identically. Identical. I'm not just pulling this out of the air. I'm not just pulling this out of, I'm not just making this up out of whole cloth. Everything is about nonsense presentation with you. The ridiculous glasses, add in the animal print. They love the animal print. My mother was the animal print. Okay, the ridiculous hippie haircut. The family inspirational sign hanging on the wall. Every time. These aren't coincidences. It tells us exactly who you are. The vocal fry, and I'm even going to go the probably SSRI eyes here as well.
To interject their opinion anyway. Well, I can tell just by looking at you why your children are estranged from you.
Yes, they can't accept that. See, this is why they need their truth. This is why they need their truth, because the truth tears their entire story apart. Yes, it's too bad for you that most of us now can all see you, just look at you and see what the problem is. Why? Because you all present exactly the same. That is not coincidence.
Thank you for being brave, and thank you for continuing to put your message out there.
Yes, it's very brave to go on TikTok and bash your children with vague stories and no details. Yes, that's completely brave. We'll get you a Presidential Medal of Freedom. How about that?
And to help educate those of us who are perhaps standing a little bit outside that situation, but it has still happened in your family, and it's heartbreaking. And
you're not being educated. You're just repeating talking points that you think makes you look better.
I really appreciate y'all's truth and your education and the fact that you continue standing up and saying, this is not right and we need to support one another.
Right. Continue standing up, meaning running your mouth. Running your mouth because your biggest fear is being silenced. Your biggest fear is not being able to make yourself the center of attention in any situation you're in.
And we need to try to help heal. And, what can we do? How can we help this? How can we change this?
How about changing your behavior? How about that? No. I'm perfect. Even though I say I have my flaws, I really believe I'm perfect. This isn't about finding truth. This is about continuing abuse and regaining control.
My sister and I were the only two children that my mom and dad had. She's 4.5 years older than me. And we were raised exactly the same way, in exactly the same home, with exactly the same parents. They did not treat one of us one way and one of us the other. We had the exact same experience growing up. We grew up in rural Arkansas to lower middle class. My dad was a truck driver. My mom was a stay-at-home mom and Sunday school teacher and PTA president and Girl Scout den mother. And
something's telling me this woman's a golden child and her sister was the black sheep, because if she's going down this road, I have a feeling she's about to bash her sister. Could be wrong. Let's see.
We took piano lessons. We were high achievers in school. We always made good grades. We were good kids. It was pretty much an idyllic upbringing, I'm sure a lot of people would say. And was there abuse? No. Was there neglect? No. Were we ever hungry? No. Did we ever go without clothing? No. And were our parents violent? Were our parents, did they argue? No. Daddy came home every night from work and we didn't have to worry about him coming home drunk and trying to beat up on somebody or something. No. We had a very nice, peaceful, tranquil existence. And my sister never liked me.
There it is. The golden child. We're dealing with a golden child here. We're dealing with a golden child with golden child entitlement. That's what you're dealing with here.
I don't really know that has anything to do with it.
Oh, it has everything to do with it. Oh, yes, it does. Because you're going, how wonderful your parents are. Yet your sister, who I think was probably clearly the black sheep, you might not have experienced those things, but I would bet your sister did.
And I was fine with that. 4.5 years behind her, I didn't really care that she didn't like me, but I was always known as Carla's weird little sister. And, that's fine. We were almost polar opposites, physically, personality-wise and everything. We were just very, very different. But our parents treated us exactly the same. And we lost my dad when I was 20 and my sister was 24, and it was traumatic, and there was a lot of healing and grief and all that had to go on around that. And my tough as nails, but sweet as sugar mother pulled herself up by her tiny little size 7 bootstraps.
There's bootstraps. There's another one. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
And she continued on with life as best that she could without my dad, and was incredibly functional, went back to work, had a great career, because she was only 49 when he died. And I was incredibly proud of my mom for carrying on the way she did. And it was kind of around then that I started hearing little snippets of judgment from my sister when I would talk to her.
There we go. Oh, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect for the golden child. And this is what carried on into her adulthood, for whatever drove her to adult parents, whatever child has got no contact with her at this point.
Do you know what our mother has been doing? I'm like, what? She's been running around with people going dancing and motorcycle riding and stuff like that. And I'm like, well,
Acting like a child. Acting like a child, embarrassing your older sister. A tactic, it seems like, you've taken upon yourself as well. As we can tell, you're trying to relive the 60s here.
oh, is she happy? Well, I don't know. I said, if she's happy, then fine. What is she doing? Something to trouble you? Well, she's doing stuff that she would have never let us do as teenagers. It's like, well, she's not a teenager. She's a grown woman who was widowed and is trying to find where her place in the world is again. So I started hearing snippets of that kind of judgment that my sister didn't approve of our mother anymore for some reason. And my sister and I sort of developed a semi-close relationship after I had The Apprentice, I guess, because we were both mothers at that point. So I'm in my 40s, she's in her 50s. And I learned a little.
You're in your 40s now? Or that's when it happened, you were in your 40s. You're in your 40s now? I'm older than you? Can't be. Can't be.
A little bit more about her in that I found out she carried a lot of grudges, particularly for members of our family that didn't acknowledge all of her high achievements in her life, and that she held a lot of grudges for that. She held some grudges of saying the men in our life never supported her in the way she needed to be supported. I never really understood that. I was like, what kind of support did you need? Because we had,
Well, when you're the golden child and you get everything and the black sheep gets nothing, you probably don't understand what she's talking about. Because you come off as a very spoiled, entitled woman.
Everything from my parents, from grandparents and aunts and uncles and stuff. So I don't really know. And this was in 2018, 2019. I went through a process of participating with a women's group that helped get rid of some old trauma and old patterning and things, that you drag around from childhood and early adulthood that you don't really realize is dysfunctional. And didn't realize I didn't finish grieving that. I didn't realize that I've never really processed that weirdness that happened.
Again, the vagueness. She said she had a perfect childhood. Now there's trauma. Which is it? Which is it? And again, no specifics, just vague. Just always vague.
And ultimately, I spent 4 days, kind of a spiritual marathon, if you will, with 20 other women from all over the world out in the side of a mountain in Colorado. And
sounds wonderful. Oh, God. I would have been like, just leave me on the mountain, please. Just leave me here.
there was lots of tears and there was lots of snot and all that. But we left a whole lot of old traumas and stuff out there.
What traumas? I thought you had a perfect childhood. What are you talking about? So if you have these traumas, but now you're saying you don't understand what your sister's problem is, what are you talking about? It doesn't even make sense, yet they just spout it to each other. And they're like, oh, that's brilliant. Oh, you're so strong and brave and find your truth. There's only the truth. There's no such thing as your truth.
And lightened our load from that and carried on. My sister was more fascinated about that process than anyone else in my life, which kind of led me to believe, okay, well, she's got some old trauma she needs to heal too. I was pretty sure she had never completely grieved my father. And, but then all of a sudden she became very uninterested in it and didn't want me to talk about it anymore. This was right around the time, this was 2019, right around the time that she and my brother-in-law sold their very successful business and were able to retire and wouldn't have to work again the rest of their life. They're very secure.
Oh, you don't like that. You don't, oh, you see the jealousy? Oh, the mask just slipped. Look at that look. Look at that. Picking up her prop cup. Look at the eyes. Yeah, those are SSRI eyes. Oh, you just let the mask slip there, sweetheart. Look at the disdain on her face. Oh, we could see the way you must have gaslighted your sister. The entitlement. You see how see how jealous she is? This seething jealousy she really has. Now she's trying to present. This is why she's saying she knows there was trauma in her family. She just admitted it. What did you go stand on a mountain in Colorado for? She knows exactly what happened to her sister. She liked it because she was been put on a pedestal her entire life, starting from childhood. But she'd been sure to make sure that her sister was able to retire with her husband, with selling a very successful business. And this is the look you get when the mask slips. This is why we're telling you we can just look at you and know what you did and know you're the problem. This is why, and you'll never accept it. Never. Because you think you're smarter and slicker than everyone else.
Everything seemed to go haywire from there. My mother started calling me in tears, saying, I can't seem to really communicate with your sister anymore. And when I go up there and visit, I don't really feel like a part of their family anymore. It's almost like I've done something wrong and I can't figure out what I've done wrong.
Because years and decades of abuse and unaddressed trauma. Okay, once she's retired and she's comfortable and she can realize I don't have to work and put up with this anymore, and she's entering the final stages, okay, of it, she's entering retirement, she doesn't want the drama anymore. What did we retire early for and do all this work to be successful? To only continue to bring in the toxicity that I have been dealing with since childhood. That's why.
And if I try to ask or talk about it, she won't talk about it. And you can...
With you? Why would she? Why would she? We see what you really feel about her. We saw the disdain in your face that she was able to retire with her husband early and never have to work again. Where's your husband, by the way? Not seeing any ring on your finger. Where's your husband?
See kind of where this was going. And it just continued going down, and contact became less and less and less between my sister and my niece and my mother. I had a little bit of contact with them, not a whole lot anyway. So like I said, I'm kind of standing on the outside looking at this. And it's just gotten worse and worse. And we even tried to get together with my sister and my niece to say, whatever we have done that has upset you to make you want to not spend time with us anymore, allow us to apologize for that. And really, they couldn't come up with anything more than, last few times I've spoken to Mom on the phone, she's just talked harshly to me. Okay, well.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be spoken to like a child. And it's probably been happening her entire life. And why would she come to you? Because she knows deep down you don't like her. You're jealous of her. You want the worst for her.
Let's do some conflict resolution. Let's have a difficult conversation, do some conflict resolution, see what we can come up with. No, they don't want to do that. They don't want to have a difficult conversation.
Because they've already had these difficult conversations with you. You just want her to have the conversation right before they go, no, you have to have that conversation every single time. Otherwise, it doesn't count. There's no reason to. You are what you are, and she knows it at this point. Why bother?
We don't want to have any conflict. Everything, I guess, is supposed to be sunshine and roses. I wasn't really aware that God told us that, oh, your entire life here on this earth.
There's God again. And then they wonder why we say we can just look at you and know you're the problem.
Realm is going to be sunshine and roses. My mother turns 89 this September. My sister and my niece live an hour and a half from her. I live 9 hours from her. They don't contact. They don't come see her. They can't be counted on by me if something happens to Mom to be there for her.
Well, you care so much. See, notice this. She moves 9 hours. This is such golden child behavior. This is such golden child behavior. She's the one who lives 9 hours away, yet she expects her sister, who clearly has issues with the mother, and everybody else to do for her. Typical golden child. Typical entitled golden child.
I have other cousins that are willing to be there for her until I can get the 9 hours from here to her house if she needed me. It breaks my heart to watch my mother try to piece together what she did wrong at any point of her life that made my sister decide that my mother was no longer good enough for her or my niece.
Oh, there were signs the entire time. But you were the golden child getting all the adulations for it, so you didn't care. You were the one who was able to move 9 hours away. For what?
I would love nothing more than to have a couple of hours to give my sister down the road about how she's hurt my mother. But I know that's not going to help.
Right. Because you're your mother's little flying monkey, aren't you? Just like you've been your entire life. And you have this underlying disdain for your sister. You let your mask slip here, honey. Look at the look of contempt on her face. Look at it. There's no love in this woman, only for herself.
Thank you, ladies, again, for making this public, for speaking your truth, and for being courageous about saying it. Thanks for helping us all head in a direction of healing.
Smug smile at the end. You just can look at them and know, and that's what drives them insane. It makes them crazy. How do they know? They don't see it. And you could point it out to them. Like, look at all your videos. Look at how you present. Look at the dress. Look at the ridiculous glasses. Look at why are you all buying inspirational family signs from TJ Maxx, and yet your families want nothing to do with you? Because it's all a show. It's all for aesthetics. And at some point you get in life, you get to like the point where I'm not taking this anymore. There is no reason to have a long drawn out conversation. For what? You don't like me anyway. You just want me to do your bidding for you so you can continue to live 9 hours away, living like a child. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, Teresa, for the contribution. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you want to expose, you want to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, then you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like, share, and definitely hype this video on your mobile device. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. If you haven't watched this video over there, please do. Even a click helps. Follow me on TikTok, X, and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.